If you've been following Farmington football, you know that the kids are always so dedicated. They put in a lot of time, and it was so fun to see everyone last night. There were so many friends that I hadn't seen in a little bit. It was so fun to see these kids out in the field, and we got a win. Also, I'm a little partial because my kid is a band kid. I can say I'm a band mom, and the music is always fantastic. One of the things that we do exceptionally well in Farmington is our music program. And you can tell by the quality of the playing and the kids how dedicated they are to their instruments and to making sure that everyone's having a good time.
Really quick, at the top of the ticket, town council chair position, Rafeena Bacchus Lee.
Farmington, I love it here. I've got 3 kids, and as any mom will know, if you've got any time, there's a volunteering opportunity. And a lot of the times it wasn't so much that I volunteered, it was more like I was voluntold. So I started when my oldest was now a senior in high school when she was in East Farms in like 2nd grade. So I started and I paid attention to what was going on in the schools. I became the secretary, and then before you know it, I was the PTO president. In Farmington, the PTOs are the ones that actually raise money for all the extras that the kids have. For example, affording the buses to go to the Hartford Symphony Orchestra, for your social programs, for your picnics. Those are all things that the schools themselves and the parents get together and they fundraise for. So historically, we had been selling wrapping paper, for example, or peanut brittle or chocolates or whatever. There weren't that many folks volunteering or even actually buying these things. So I came together with the group of moms that I was on a committee with, and that year we had a survey, and it was, hey, how do you feel about dues? Would you be in favor of those? And it came back overwhelmingly that people were in favor of paying some dues at the beginning of the year, so therefore they wouldn't have to sell wrapping paper or whatever it was. And we started a dues model, which they still have. Before you know it, the year's out, you have successfully managed a budget, you've successfully put these programs together that these kids are really, truly thankful for, and their parents.
You know, one of the most important things in life that we do is service to others, and making sure that when you come to a place, you leave it in a better position than you found it. And truly, I feel like there was a baby here earlier that she said, uh-oh, and no, really, we're at one of those uh-oh moments.
We're all really busy, and there's unfortunately like a level of complacency, not only in this town, it's everywhere, where people don't think that they can do very much. And here in town, I love this town. We have so much that's wonderful, wonderful in town. But I think the reason why I got involved is because my perspective wasn't part of the town. People come from different towns, from different walks of life, and I don't feel like we were truly being represented. So that's why I started and stepped forward to run for town council initially. All right, let's get going. Today is a beautiful Sunday morning. We're here with Mayor Luke Bronin, and we're gonna go and knock on some doors. I've been walking and talking to a lot of residents, and they feel that unless you know somebody in town, you cannot be heard. Hi there, how are you?
Sunday best.
Oh, no worries.
So are we.
All right.
Hi, my
Hi.
name is Rafeena Bacchus Lee. I'm a Democrat running for town council chair.
Harita Subramanian. I'm also Democrat. I'm running for Zoning Board of Appeals alternate.
Luke Bronin, I'm the mayor of Hartford.
I couldn't imagine.
But coming out to
Mayor of
support,
Hartford.
because I think you've got a really good Democratic team running for all of the positions across the board. So I wanted to come out and support Rafeena and Rita and the whole team.
I'll give you some reading material. I've served on town council for almost 2 years now. One of the reasons, again, I ran and I'm continuing to run is that we need to understand what the decisions are being made, how the decisions are made, what are the factors that went into making that decision, but more importantly, communicate that to the residents. And as a new town council chair, I'll be sure that that happens.
All right, that sounds reasonable.
I've been walking and talking with so many folks over the last 8 weeks, and there are neighborhoods that haven't been paved in 25 years. A lot of folks don't come to town meetings. We have maybe 3 people who come regularly to town meetings, and I love that. And I think that's what we need to try and foster more of in town. Initially, when I ran for town council, it was like, okay, how do we get more people involved? And the town council chair has a lot to do with that. The town council chair is the person that sets the agenda. A lot of folks don't actually know how town government works. That was one of the things that I tried to change. We had created this little, like it's a JPEG. There are 2 districts in town. A lot of people don't know that. It's education, it's also engagement.
I'm a teacher, so obviously not in town, but education is important, and like mental health stuff is important.
Yes.
So.
For me, I've always been very authentic, and I've always been like, hey, what can we do? If you see something that you think should be different in this town or can be better for everybody, I think that's on all of us to make sure that that happens. Thank you very much. It's so nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. Nice to meet you.
I was just wondering, because in certain parts of town, it's really hard. Sometimes there's a sidewalk, sometimes there's not, and people like to jog or walk around. My son. We had a resident come and talk to us, I think it was maybe a year and a half ago, about the lack of sidewalks where he lives. We have a sidewalk policy in town, and if you and your neighbors want to have sidewalks, the town will put them in, but you have to maintain them. A lot of people don't know that. His mother is deaf, and she just wants to be able to go down. She has to walk in the middle of the street where they live. We all want the same things in Farmington. We want a place where our children have opportunities, great services, great schools, low taxes, and a place for our families and ourselves to thrive. My husband and I grew up in New York City. We didn't have a lot of money, but my family understood that through education, you could change the trajectory of your life. And that's what I've done. That's what my husband has done. And we were really lucky. Our parents didn't make a ton of money, but we got all of what we wanted and most of what we needed. And that's something that I've tried to replicate for my own kids. Good, thanks. My name is Rafeena Bacchus Lee. I'm running for town council chair.
Oh, it's good to meet you.
Good to meet you. Amanda, tell me about some of the concerns that you have as a resident in Farmington.
As a mom of 2 children in town, I think my biggest concern is really, what's uniting our town recently.
So as you know, with the comprehensive FHS, of which I was the co-chair, we pushed really hard to educate people about the high school building referendum. And I can't even tell you how pleased I was the day after that referendum passed, because it just really felt that was good governance at its best. We identified an issue in town, we all came up with different solutions, we communicated about those solutions to residents, and they went to the polls and they voted. That was one thing I can think about that really kind of united the town.
Go for Rafeena!
People know me and are able to have a conversation with me. This is who I am. There's no like, oh my gosh, she says one thing in private and then she says the other thing in public.
We're at a point where we have this incredible, experienced slate of candidates who also have different perspectives. When we are all together, all these diverse voices making decisions, coming together, the decision has to be better because we're all engaged in it. And that's the thing that's been lacking on town council since I joined 2 years ago. I genuinely believe that everybody has a part to play in the world. Sometimes it's not like, who do I want to be? It's who does the world need me to be? I'll stay up later, I'll do that. I'm a hard worker, I've always been. And people always respond to the folks who can get things done. And to, just borrow a line from Hamilton, Rafeena, she gets the work done. I understand how the decisions that are being made on town council affect us as a community. It's about what are the issues that we're all facing? How can we make this town better for all of us? Folks need to be engaged. They need to understand what's at stake here in this next election. And I humbly ask you for your vote for all of us, so that we can make sure that Farmington remains a place for our families to thrive, not only to survive. Thank you so much for coming.